Behind Dutch Headlines, the who, why, and how of politics and media in the lowlands.
Hi, I'm Greg Shapiro. Here's what you need to know to join the Dutch conversation. This week, healthcare fraud hits the Dutch cabinet. Heads will roll. But are they insured? Healthcare fraud investigations hit nursing homes. Is grandma stealing your premiums? And the 12 Dutch provinces are becoming 5 this week. Will Limburg keep its name? Our first headline, Junior Finance Minister under fire due to fraud case. What's behind the headline? Well, you may know of the Dutch Finance Minister from the Labour Party, Jeroen de Bloem, but now meet his frankly less interesting counterpart, his second in command from the VVD party, Frans Wekers. Now, the VVD is a party that positions themselves as the law and order party. However, it's the VVD guy who is charged with mishandling this case of law and order, specifically a case of Bulgarians who were defrauding the system and stealing healthcare and housing benefits. The Dutch public were outraged at the news, saying, stealing healthcare and housing benefits? That's our job. Our next headline, Dutch healthcare costs rise partly due to fraud. What's behind the headline? Well, the Netherlands is a country that is desperately trying to trim all of its budgets. But overall, healthcare costs rose last year, according to the Central Bureau of Statistics, to 9.8 billion euros, a noticeable increase since the year before. This is remarkable for a country with doctors whose normal advice is, why don't you just go home and get some rest? But apparently there are more and more cases of fraud in Dutch healthcare, doctors overcharging for their treatment. According to one Dutch health economist, there is one extreme case of one doctor charging over 1,100 euros for removing earwax. But the real earwax problem is in the head of the healthcare minister, Edith Schippers, who claims she was completely unaware of the problem and is now opening an investigation not only into hospitals, but into nursing homes. So, on behalf of the healthcare ministry and the finance ministry, if you should see any old Bulgarians dressing up as grandmas and removing earwax, report them immediately. Our next headline, Dutch government to reduce the number of Dutch provinces. What's behind the headline? Well, one of the central plans of the new Dutch coalition is to reduce the number of provinces from 12 down to a more manageable 5. That's going to require some difficult decisions. And to help them, we introduce the Choice of Holland, helping to figure out which provinces should be lumped into other ones and which provinces should keep their unique identity. This week, Limburg. What's so great about Limburg? Well, Limburg is known for the fruit pie fly. They're also known for Maastricht, the Treaty of Maastricht, the University of Maastricht, and like Friesland from last week, Limburg has its own cultural identity. They're definitely below the rivers. That means when it comes to carnival, they know how to party. But more than that, they are logistically centered. They are a logistics capital, and they still make things down in Limburg. I believe they still make cars. But since they are nestled in between Belgium and Germany, Limburg has a big problem with drug tourism. The reason that the rest of the Netherlands has to put up with this so-called weed pass. However, most controversial is the big politician to come out of Limburg from Venlo, Geert Wilders. Let's go to the jury. Our first judge, Interior Minister Ronald Plasterk, who says, I like Limburg. I can sing in a key of G and zachte G. Next up, Donald Trump, who says, Geert Wilders, your haircut looks worse than mine. You're fired. And the deciding vote on the jury, me. Well, you know, Limburg, you do have your own identity. You're very well below the rivers. But look who else is below the rivers, Brabant. They're your neighbor to the northwest, and I think you might want to merge with them. We could call it Carnival Land. That's it for this week. Listen to our podcast for the rest. For Behind Dutch Headlines, I'm Greg Shapiro. Thank you very much.
Behind Dutch Headlines.